I think this might appear like a tricky issue or topic to a parent or teacher, when we, particularly because they might feel that, well, we don't know much about mental health and the problems associated.
I think it's important to be observant. I think if someone's behaviour starts to change, and you notice that that they're already struggling and their behaviour starts to change, or they're isolating themselves, but I think particularly in schools with friendship patterns, if you notice, or absence from school, I think these are all signs that potentially a mental health issue is getting worse and that a young person is struggling.
As we said, with a young person it's tricky because they are emotional and life is confusing already. So it can be a little bit hard to see what's going on, but I tend to ask, are they still thriving? Are they progressing? Are they moving forward? Because even in the midst of all the struggles of it is to be a young person, they should still be moving forward and contributing. And if they seem like they're constantly getting pulled back and they're not really making that progress, well, that highlights that something's going on. Now, that something may not be a mental health problem. It might be someone in their family's died, or it might be that they're getting bullied, or it might be something that they're struggling to deal with from their past. Or it might be that there's a mental health problem. But noticing that should at least be a trigger to have a conversation. Try and sit down, try and listen. And if the sort of things that come up when you're talking about is a lot of things about how they're feeling, things that they're worrying about, emotions that seem disproportionate and lasting longer than they tend to, and are having an impact on their day-to-day life, well, then that says, it might be time to help this young person, get some more professional advice and see what it is that's going on. But the key things would be, is it ongoing, and is it debilitating, to their day-to-day life?
One of the things to look out for is actually changes in behaviour. So you might have a young person who's always, loud and bouncy and, the front of house, but actually suddenly they're becoming really reserved and not wanting to join in. So it might not be that you're looking for a tick box of, are they demonstrating this or are they demonstrating that? But knowing a young person and seeing suddenly that there's a change in their behaviour could be a real indicator that something else is going on.
Because anyone can have mental health problems at any different point in their lives. You might have a list of things that you're looking for. You might miss it if you're only looking for that. Some people are very good at hiding it, aren't necessarily aware they've got problems. So just because someone's not necessarily showing a classic symptom doesn't mean they're not struggling. So have your tick list by all means, but that doesn't mean the most obvious person, you might miss them.
Obviously, if you Google mental health, there's lots of stuff that would come up, and obviously, as with anything, we've got to be careful about what you read. Certainly, I wouldn't, support self-diagnosing any problems, but you can certainly, if you go to a reliable website, you can identify some of the problems that you're experiencing there, and it certainly might help. I mean, we always support people getting more information about their problems and condition, but seeking help, locally would be the first thing that you would want to do if you've got any worries. Yeah.
The important thing also is to say if it is a problem and a difficulty that needs additional professional support, then please don't hesitate in going to your GP.
We don't live in a world where, if you're feeling depressed, just go to sleep and sleep it off. It's actually, there's something going on inside, something going on under there that isn't right, whether that's chemical or whether that's because of something you've experienced. There's something that isn't right, and there are things that we can do to help with that.
This is a really important possibility for young people and professionals to find out more about mental health and when we need to worry, because I think we all have mental health difficulties. We all struggle with our emotions from, one way or another. And it's just deciding or getting to the point where we know this has become a problem rather than it's a part of life that we can overcome.
And I think the other really important thing is to just be on a personal quest to learn more about mental health, mental well-being, mental illness, and be prepared to let go of some of the old myths that we might hold from our younger days. I think we need to stop looking for illness.
I think we spend a long time being absolutely terrified that someone is going to be really ill, and so all we look for are those really extreme cases. But actually, let's talk to everyone. And when it tips over that edge into something that needs more intervention, it'll be obvious, because you've got enough experience to know what is okay and what isn't. What will people get through, and actually what do they need more help with?
The main word that ever gets used is mental health, and that's it. There's no, it's like almost like they're in one bracket, and that's that. And it's actually a lot bigger than that.
A lot of the help that's given at the moment are the people that are crying for attention, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing at all. People deserve help, with anything they go through, people deserve help, and sometimes you just do need a helping hand. But I think it's a more serious case of those people that aren't crying for help, because they're probably the ones that need it most, and they're just not getting it, and I think that is quite a shame.
People don't know enough about it to say what it really is, what people are going through. So if they could say, oh, you're feeling a bit down in the dumps, it could be people could just think, oh, right, well, that's the menopause, that's the hormones, that's any of that. So I think that there's not enough distinction between those, and that's an issue, really, yeah.
You can't see whether someone's suffering from mental illness, because obviously it's mental and you can't see that. And I mean, like with physical illness, you go on, I know how to help you with that, and you've got a broken leg, let's take you to the doctor. But I guess it's harder with mental illness, because sometimes you just can't tell.